Game 1 against the Mavs in their second-round series with a 121-114 starter scored in double figures, led by DeAndre Ayton's 25 points compared to only 3 starters for the Mavs. Dallas did get 45 from Luka. Jalen Brunson, Spencer Dinwiddie combined for only 21 on 9 of 24 shooting. Now, according to Caesars, the Suns are currently tied with the Warriors for the best odds to win the championship. Phoenix looking to make it back to the NBA Finals for the second straight season. What is standing in the way of CP3 and the Suns franchise notching their first ever championship legs?
The only 2 things that could stand in the way, and it does feel like Phoenix's year, I agree with Jay, it does feel that way, are the greatness of the Warriors, the greatness of Giannis Antetokounmpo. I mean, to answer your question, that's the only 2 things, because they're going to win this series. I do think Dallas has a chance to get a couple of games, maybe 1 game, maybe 2. Phoenix will win this series. Phoenix, Golden State, I just said I think Golden State's going to the finals. I mean, that's a great team that now has a guy, to me, the emergence of Jordan Poole, what he has done to the Warriors. You think about it. Andrew Wiggins made the All-Star team this year. There are nights right now that Andrew Wiggins is their 5th best player because of the way Jordan Poole's playing. Think about that. That's how deep they are right now with talent. Could Phoenix beat them? Of course they could beat them. They're the #1 seed. Obviously, they've been the best team in the league. So I'm not going to be shocked whichever way that goes, whichever one of those teams get to the finals. But for me, what's it going to take? It's going to take Giannis Antetokounmpo being incredibly special in the NBA Finals, or it's going to take Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Wiggins, and then Jordan Poole, who's now scoring at an elite level. It's going to take something like that because Phoenix is a complete team across the board.
I'm going to go Key next. Right. Key, what's standing in the way of the Suns?
I echo pretty much what Legs is saying. When you think about it, I start off with Golden State and everything that they've been able to do. Steph Curry came back off an ankle injury and hadn't missed a beat. Klay Thompson's been in and out, a little rusty, but yet and still more than what you expected. Now, Draymond can keep his head screwed on straight and not get himself caught in the situations in the playoffs where he's eliminated. But then the X factor to me is Jordan Poole. Now you've got about 3 to 4 guys on Golden State that can cook. Now, when you look at Phoenix, on the other hand, yeah, they got 3 guys last night that all scored in the 20s, but is DeAndre Ayton still going to be able to do that? Is Chris Paul on a night in and night out going to be able to do that? Well, Booker came back. It just tells me he willed his way coming back off a hamstring injury because that's how bad he wanted it early. I think he can continue to do that. But then when you flip to the East, do they have anybody? Can DeAndre Ayton, we saw him last year, handle Giannis if somehow they get to the finals? Can he somehow defend that? Nobody's been able to defend it so far. He wasn't able to defend it last year. Or are we going to see a same sort of repeat that we saw last year with Phoenix in Milwaukee?
Yeah, if it ends up being Bucks Suns, Giannis, obviously, best player in the world. Bucks fans, I'm going to repeat it. Leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Seriously. Giannis is the best player in the world. But that's going to be a hard matchup for Phoenix. You guys said it. Look, Warriors in the West, that's standing between the Suns and their first title. The winner of the Bucks-Celtics series, to me, is standing, that's going to be a tough matchup either way. Whoever wins that series, I think, will win the East. The other part is you can't quantify it, you can't measure it. It's just luck. And when we think about CP specifically and all the bad luck that he's had in the playoffs, even we can go back to Houston. We can go back to the Clippers years, that fourth quarter against the Spurs back in 2008. Like, there's been some just really bad moments, and they've been unlucky. Last year, he hurts his shoulder. He's unable to shoot in the first round against the Lakers. They figure out a way to beat them. Then in the conference finals, he gets COVID. He's out 2 games. This year, Book gets hurt. Like, so much of winning a championship, and Doc Rivers said this back in 2015 or 2016, and the Warriors got mad. There is an element of luck or avoiding unluckiness that is involved with winning a championship.
Luck
it happens
or injury?
every year. Well,
you think they go hand in hand?
You can, like, CP does everything in the world to take care of his body.
Yeah.
I talk to him about this all the time. Guess what? He reaches for steals and strip downs 5-6 times a game. Every time he does that, he's at danger of breaking his thumb, breaking a finger, breaking his wrist. It's just part of the thing. But he's going to continue to play that way. So some of it is just avoiding bad luck.
Just perfect example. Just ask Philly. Joel Embiid's face was in the wrong place at the wrong time. And now look what that potentially does.
When they were up by 29 points?
They were 29. by 29. And Doc's getting a lot of heat for that, but I'm also kind of
I'm not
questioning Joel
putting
Embiid for even sliding over there to contest that layup. Just don't.
Hold on.
He already has the thumb thing. I'm not putting it on Doc. I'm just saying they're up 29 points.
But we should address this because Doc Rivers, for 3 days or 2 days, whatever it was between the games, as soon as it got 3-1, 3-2, all the media was talking about, will Doc Rivers be the first coach to blow a 3-0 lead? That's all he heard. Every single question was about that. So if he takes his guys out and Toronto comes back, guess what? He loses. If he leaves his guys in and someone gets hurt, he loses.
But really, could you go on a run when you're up by 29 with 4 minutes left? Is that really realistic, JJ? I mean,
I'm just saying he's in a position right now where he's going to get killed no matter what. That's just that's the nature of it.
You talk about luck. So 40 seconds before that happened, they got a defensive rebound.
Okay.
Doc could have called timeout then. He decided, all right, one more trip. Joel goes down, dunks the ball, does his jet thing down the court. He's getting the booze. Siakam comes right at him. Embiid slides over, he's like in no man's land, so he doesn't really commit to the block, and he's not trying to take a charge. And he's just in a bad place, wrong time. Yeah. And Doc Rivers gets heat for that, for literally changing into the floor one more time. And that's just not fair to Doc Rivers, honestly. The one thing I'll disagree with Doc when he said, well, they still had their guys in. Yeah, but typically when you're up 29, you usually put your guys in first. And then Nick Nurse would pull his guys 2 minutes later. That's usually the way it works. The team that's behind keeps their guys in a little bit longer when you talk about end-of-game blowout protocol, right? So that's the one thing I'll disagree with.
Especially in a closeout game. Yes. Especially in a closeout
Completely.
game.
Okay. The headline of the segment, Giannis is the best player in the NBA. Heard it here first. Good day. What's going on, everybody? Welcome into First Take. As you can see, Stephen A. is off today. We gave him a day. Burned the candles on both ends, took the red eye, etc. Held it down yesterday. But we've got you covered. Look at this crew. Tim Legler in the building. JJ Redick, good morning. Keyshawn Johnson from the West Coast. Fellas, how we feeling? How we living?
Fantastic. Glad to be doing a segment with this guy. This is fun.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, no.
This is unbelievable. This never happened.
No.
This is great.
I love it. I love it. Bringing the band back together. Let's get it. We're talking playoffs. The Miami Heat take game one from the Philadelphia 76ers 106-92 without their best player, Joel Embiid, who's sidelined at least the first 2 games with an orbital fracture. Tobias Harris led the Sixers 27 points, while James Harden finished with 16 points on 5 of 13 shooting, running his streak of being held under 25 points to 11 straight playoff games. His longest since he was coming off the bench for the Oklahoma City Thunder to start his career. Tyler Hero finished with a team-high 25 for Miami. Bam Adebayo added 24 points, 12 rebounds. James Harden, though, fellas, he's staying optimistic.
It's one game, but things can turn fast. So, the sooner we can correct the things that we can control, the better off we'll be. Obviously, we're missing Joe, but, it's out of our control, and we got to go out there and man up and be great. And I know we will do because we've been resilient, so far.
JJ Redick up first. Do you expect more from Harden without Embiid?
I don't know why we would expect more from Harden. He's shown over the last year and change that this is the player he is. But at this